Good morning, students. We often engaged in buying so many things, I mean, different types of goods, right? We purchase stationery, grocery, clothes, electronic gadgets, daily products, and so on. We generally associate buying with goods. In the market, actually, we as a customer also buy number of services. Am I right? What type of services do we need on an everyday basis? Let me present some examples of services which we need on daily basis. Police, education, doctor's visit, haircut, legal advice, surgery, house cleaning, food delivery, and so on. For what we need services? Yes, we purchase goods as well as services to fulfill our daily needs. Similarly, business organizations also need different types of goods and number of services for smoothly conduct their day-to-day activities. Business units need these services from business creation to profit making. These services help you to succeed in business. Business services are those services which are used by business enterprise to carry on business activities more smoothly. Friends, can you guess what we are going to study today? Yes, we will get information about services. As we are commerce students, we are interested in which type of services? Yes, you are right. Business services. So today we are going to start the chapter Business Services. Welcome students to the next lecture of Organization of Commerce and Management subject. I am Mrs. Neeta Ivle presenting fourth chapter, that is Business Services. Let's start the chapter. Today we will study meaning, definition and features of business services. Now see, sometimes services are difficult to identify because they are closely associated with goods. Everyone from your doctor to your plumber is selling you a service. Let us learn in detail about business services. Business services are those services which help in successful running of business. Business services can be defined as various tasks and activities that help maintain a business despite not delivering any tangible product. Don't forget that services are not delivering any tangible product. You know what is tangible and what is intangible, right? An example of business service can be information technology, which assists numerous other business services like procurement, finance, and shipping. In today's world, most of the traders are interested in these exclusive services and cover a major part of the industry. Student friends, I glad to tell you that India is growing extremely competitive and giving a tough competition to other countries when it comes to providing services. A large number of foreign countries prefer India as their hosting partner for business services. Sometimes they even prefer to open a branch office in India. Now let's start with definitions of business services. Here some definitions are given. The first definition is a service is an act of performance that one party can offer to another that is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. Its production may or may not be tied to a physical product. This definition is given by Philip Kotler. Now see, some of the features you will find in this definition, right? Intangible. Services are intangible. Now, it does not result in the ownership of anything. Okay. Now, the second definition is given by American Marketing Association. Activities, benefits, or satisfactions which are offered for sale or provided in connection with the sale of goods. Now see, from these definitions, we get the nature of business services. No transfer of possessions or ownership takes place when services are sold, and they cannot be stored or transported. Services are instantly perishable, and they come into existence at the time they are bought and consumed. Let's see some examples. Examples of business services: bank, insurance, transportation, warehousing, communication, etc. In this chapter, we are going to study these 5 services. Let us take a look at some of the characteristics, that is, features of business services. Now, the first feature is intangibility. With reference to business services, introduction, services do not have any physical form. That is, they can only be practiced instead of produced. Right? They don't have any physical form. Also, you cannot judge the quality of service before consumption. A service is not a physical product that can be touched or seen. A service can be experienced by the buyer or the receiver. Services lack material form and therefore they are intangible. Due to intangibility, services cannot be demonstrated like goods, and therefore service providers must create good impact on the customers by delivering quality services on time. Right? For example, traveling through a cab. In other words, the goods of tangible nature can be displayed, the prospectors or buyers can have a view, and they can even taste and make a trial before making the buying decisions. The selling process are thus found easier. We are aware of the fact that services are of intangible nature, and it is intangibility that complicates the task of decision maker. They expect safe, fast, decent services. A service by nature is an abstract phenomena. Thus, it is right to mention that due to intangibility, the selling and marketing of services become much complicated. Now the next feature is inseparability. The presence of service provider is there at the time of delivering service to the consumer. See, this is one of the unique characteristic of services, that the service and the service provider cannot be separated. Unlike with goods, you are getting the point, friends. The goods are produced at one point and then distributed by others at the other point, right? In services, we find the selling process making ways for the generation of services. In simple words, we can say that consumption of services can't be separated by storage. In case of goods, we know that the manufacturer produces the product and store it. In other words, if we produce the goods today, it can be sold later. But in case of services, production and consumption are simultaneous activities. Remember that in case of services, production and consumption take place at the same time. Now see the next. The third feature is inconsistency. There is no consistency in the services as like in physical products. Physical goods are produced with a high degree of standardization. They are factory produced or assembled in large numbers with enormous consistency. But services are heterogeneous. They can be, there cannot be perfect standardization of services because each time the service has to be performed exclusively. Every time the service provider has to modify the service accordingly. The quality of services can't be standardized. The prices charged may be too high or too low. In the case of entertainment and sports, we find the same thing. The same type of services can't be sold to all the customers even if they pay the same price. There are several reasons that make standardization of services difficult. Firstly, intangibility prevents setting up of precisely defined standards for service product. Secondly, service variability is caused by human involvement and customer provider interactions. That is why, even if the service provider remains the same, the quality of the service may differ from time to time. For example, same restaurant can give different experience to two different customers. Now look these examples to understand this unique feature. Quality variation can be experienced across different service outlets. For example, two branches of Cafe Coffee Day may provide different service experience. Variations in service can also be found across time too. Similarly, the service quality between lunch and dinner services of a restaurant may differ. You may have experience about this. So, remember that services do not have any consistency. They need to be exclusively done each time. Right? What is the next? The next feature is perishability. This is one significant difference between goods and services. As I stated, goods can be stored for later use. On the other hand, a person cannot stock services for future use because it has to be delivered when demanded. The production and consumption of service are inseparable because storage of services is not possible. Being an intangible transactions, there can never be an inventory of services. Unlike goods, they can't be stored for future sale. Demand and supply for the service are very close to each other. In short, service has to be provided to the customer as and when it is asked by them. The goods, if not sold today, can be stored, preserved for future selling. Unutilized or underutilized services are found to be a waste. Thus, the risk element is here in a different form. So, in the context of services, if we fail to sell the services, it is lost only not for today but even for the future. For example, if a labor stops to work, if a seat in the aircraft remains unsold, if a bedroom in a hotel remains unbooked, a chair in a cinema hall remains vacant, we find the business non-existence and the opportunities are lost and lost forever. hotels and airlines cannot create stock of their rooms or seats to supply them during the time of excess demand. Remember, inventory is not possible in services. The services can't be stored or preserved. Okay, understanding this point? Now see the next, that is fifth point is non-transferability. The goods sold are transferred from one place to another. The ownership is also transferred, and this provides to the buyers an opportunity to resell. In case of services, we don't find the same thing. The users have just an access to the service. Unlike goods, all services are non-transferable in nature. The ownership of services can't be transferred from service provider to customer. An expert opinion says a service is any activity or benefit that one party can offer to another, then it is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. The ownership to services does not exist. Hence, neither the service ownership is transferred nor obtained both by the seller and buyer. Now see the example. A consumer can use personal care services or maybe medical services or can use a hotel room or a swimming pool. However, the ownership rests with the providers. Here, it is clear that ownership is not affected in the process of selling the services. Right? See the last one, that is sixth one, consumer participation. For services, participation of consumer is equally important. Without the participation of consumer, services cannot be offered. The seller cannot offer service without the presence of customer. Vice versa, customer cannot accept service unless the seller is present to offer a service. The unique nature of services is that customer should participate at 100%, otherwise services can't be given. Both the consumer and provider of a service participate in its provision. Customer involvement is required in providing any kind of service. Consumer must be present to receive the entertainment service. You can understand this example. Customer participation is inevitable in delivery of services. Services are actions or performances typically produced and consumed simultaneously. He or she can contribute to the gap through appropriate or inappropriate, effective or ineffective, productive or unproductive behaviors. Services such as healthcare, education, personal fitness, and weight loss, where the service outcome is highly dependent on the consumer's participation. Let's have some another example. During a haircut, there are two participants, right? The customer and the hairdresser. Unless both are present, the service is not possible. In such services, unless the customers perform their roles effectively, the desired service outcomes can't be achieved. See this another example. If movie is moving, customers should open the eyes. If he fails to participate in the act of movie movements, it cannot be enjoyed, right? Similarly, facial cannot be performed unless face is shown to the beautician. Can it? Researcher in their research has shown that in education, which is related to us, active participation by students increases learning the desired service output significantly, right? So if you want to increase the significant output, that is desired service output, you have to be actively participated in the activity of teaching learning process. Now I think you understand the importance of your active participation in teaching learning process. Got it? So, as you were actively listen today's lecture, we understood meaning, definition and features of business services. Let's have a quick review. We understood features of business services. The first feature is intangibility, then inseparability, third one is inconsistency, fourth one perishability, fifth non-transferability, and sixth one is consumer participation. In upcoming lectures, we will talk about different business services. And in next lecture, we will take information about banking, the first business service which is given in the textbook. Thank you.